Hey there. So in this video, I'm going to be talking about how leverage or margin trading works. Now, this video here should hopefully give an explanation of how it works and what it's all about, and that way you're better informed as to whether or not you would like to margin trade or trade on leverage. So let's begin. So basically, leverage or margin allows you to borrow money to buy an asset. So in this case, it's crypto, or well, assuming that we're trading crypto. Now, in some sense, an example of this would be like a mortgage, right? So you're going to buy money or you're going to borrow money to buy a home, right? So you're basically asking the bank to borrow money, and then you're going to use that money to buy a home, and basically the bank or whoever you borrowed the money from says, okay, I am going to hold your asset as collateral until you pay me back everything. And that's exactly what leverage or margin trading is like. Now, there are usually fees associated with borrowing, and as is the case with a mortgage, right? So just like in a mortgage, you would have interest, you would have an interest rate, and you have monthly interest payments, right? So, and this is kind of the same thing when you borrow on margin. You would have interest payments that you would need to pay back on a monthly basis, or that accumulates on a daily basis even. All right, so what are the benefits? Well, just as it says here, it's magnifying gains. And what are the risks? Well, it's magnified losses. So basically it's a magnifier. So whenever you uh, borrow to buy an asset, or in this case, when you're using leverage or margin, it's basically magnifying whatever your position is. So let's go through an example to just kind of uh, see how this works. So you deposit $10,000 onto an exchange that allows you to uh, leverage or margin trade, right? And this exchange allows up to 5 times leverage. So that basically means you can leverage whatever the amount that you have up to 5 times. And this is essentially 20% down. So all you really need is 20% of that money. So how did I get this number? Well, you basically take 100 and you divide it by this number here, and it gives you the percent, right? So example, if the exchange allows a 10x leverage, that means you only really need 10% down. Or if the exchange allows a 2 times leverage, that means you only need 50% of the money down. So in this case of this $10,000, what it really means is that you have a total of $50,000 to trade with, right? So you have the $10,000 is yours, and there is the other 40,000 you borrowed from the exchange, right? So for the purpose of this example, we're going to ignore trade fees and interest. So let's just say Bitcoin is worth $5,000 per coin. It's pretty cheap. Well, well, I guess compared to prices right now, but let's just say it's $5,000 a coin, and you use the whole 50,000 that you've got, right? So, uh, 10 10,000 is yours, and the 40,000 is what you've borrowed, and you use this to buy the 10 Bitcoins. Now you have a total of $50,000 worth of Bitcoins, right? So I should add that here, but you have a total of $50,000 worth of Bitcoins. Yes, so 10,000 is yours, and 40,000 is the borrowed money. So scenario one, we look at Bitcoin and the price goes up to 5,500. So it's just it went up 500 bucks per coin. Now the value of your 10 Bitcoins is now worth $55,000. And let's just say you decide to sell them all. You're like, oh sweet, they went up $500 a coin. I'm going to sell them all, and basically of that 55,000 that you've just sold, you pay back the 40,000 that you owe, and then you keep the remaining 15,000 for yourself, right? Because if you take 55,000, you pay back 40, you have 15,000 remaining. And let's take a look at the math on that. So basically, you've just made $5,000 off of the 10,000, right? And that's a 50% gain from the amount, based on the amount that you've made on the amount that you've put in. Now, if you didn't use margin, right, and you had the full 50,000 and you've made the 5,000, you'd only make 10%, right, based on the amount of cash that you've put in, right? So if you take a look here, right, so the 15,000, 10,000 you've already forked up, but the 5,000 is your actual profit, right? So that's actually how much you get to keep, or that's how much your position is after you've put in the $10,000, right? So let's take a look at scenario 2. This is, I guess, the not so good scenario. So Bitcoin goes to $4,500 per coin. Now the value of your 10 Bitcoins is now worth $45,000, and you can't stomach it, and you sell them all. Now, of this 45,000, you still owe the exchange 40,000, so you have to pay them back. And then of this, so 45 minus 40 is 5,000. So you keep 5,000. Now, let's take a look at the calculations on that. So you've just lost $5,000 off of your initial 10,000, right? So you've put in 10,000 and all you got back was 5,000. So that's pretty much 50% that you've just lost. 50% of your money, of that $10,000, is now gone. That's based on margin. Now, if we look at non-margin, let's just say you had the full 50,000 and you've lost 5,000. Well, that's just only 10% based on your own cash. So this is pretty much how margin works. It just, as I've said before, it magnifies your gains and losses. So here's pretty much the conclusion. Now, gains or losses are magnified. Now, this is, I guess, what you want to do is you just want to be careful when you're trading on margin, especially if you don't know what you're doing, as your losses can be quite substantial. But yeah, that's what I wanted to share with you in this video. Just kind of the danger or the benefits of trading on margin. Now, there's some people out there who aren't exactly sure of what that is, so I decided to make a video, and hopefully everyone's out there trading safely and not getting liquidated, right? So that means where you lose everything because you owe more than you have, right? So, but yeah, anyways, I hope you found this video informative or educational. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Leave a comment down below on what you liked or what you didn't like about this video, and yeah, I'll hopefully respond to that. And share this video with someone who you think would like it or enjoy it or think they would get some value out of it. But yeah, other than that, thanks for watching, and if you're interested in receiving notifications of my future videos, then hit that subscribe button. Other than that, bye for now.